United. We'll be doing a Chelsea preview, and Prasanna is back after last time. Prasanna, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How have you been?
Very well, thank you. Just saying a little bit backstage, it's been very different compared to last time we did a preview. It was all up in the air with yourself in terms of ownership, but it was all up in the air for us in terms of management of what was going on. Before we get on to the preview, I just want to say hello to people who's in the chat. Good evening, Henry. Hope you are well. Good evening to Niall. Hope you're well. Good evening to Andrew. Hope you're well and have a lovely sleep. Good evening. I like coffee. I hope you are well. Good evening to Torsen. I hope you are well. Thank you for coming in. And good evening to Rava. Thank you for coming in. Hope you are well. And good evening, Reese. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. What I've done with my hair, I put in like it's purple shampoo, and the purple shampoo makes the hair look lighter. So I use that like once or twice a week. So my hair keeps like it's a bit like a toner for my hair, so it stays in nice light condition. I've highlighted the questions, which we'll go to a little bit later on, but we'll start off, of course, in terms of Chelsea, because a lot of things has changed, really, even from the start of the season. We'll first off as well go with the new owner, because you made some great signings there of Raheem Sterling. You got Koulibaly as well. So, and as well as that, the new owner seems like he is really investing into the new team.
It is, but you look at some decisions and you're thinking like, does it really make sense? Like, I mean, you make a decision to spend that much money. You're like, okay, you want to back the manager, but then you sack Tuchel. I mean, what I had no idea what that was about. But
Yeah.
there were signs towards the end that like because the style of play was getting very very predictable. I mean, you put a low block against Chelsea and you can easily beat us, and one on the counter attack, and we can be caught out. The only positives from that point of time were like Thiago Silva and one or two players like that. I mean, Mount was not stepping up, Havertz was poor, Sterling was just about doing here and there. Our midfield was getting bypassed very easily, and our defense was just like here and there. I mean, Koulibaly obviously did come in, but obviously new league, he needs to adapt to it, and he still gets caught out a bit here and there, but overall I think he has been okay. But ever since we ever since we got in Graham Potter, who I'm still in shock that he's a manager, because he was at Brighton, he was doing well, and I don't know why I'm not sure why he would leave Brighton and come to Chelsea. I mean, agreed, bigger club. When a bigger club comes calling, you can't say no. But when you're building something with Brighton, um, who have been playing good football, who know what they're doing, they don't have the big star names, but they nurture talents well and they know what they're doing. It was a surprise that he joined Chelsea, but end of the day, he joined Chelsea, and we're on this good run. We haven't had pretty major tests. Obviously, this is going to be our first test. Man United or Milan, people might say Milan, but they're not doing great in their league, and we kind of dispatched them pretty easily in the Champions League. So the way some players have stepped up, and the way that we have been going about, some players have come in, some players have done their jobs, and obviously injuries are part to play. Everyone has a lot of games in October, but yeah, we can go on to that as we traverse through this video.
100%. And thank you so much, Reese, for the £5 donation. It really means a lot, and that will go towards breast cancer now as well. And good evening to Liam. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, it has definitely been different, because I looked at Tuchel and I seen the stats like he won out of 100 games, he won 60 of them. It's a crazy stat, and I've seen Chelsea fans saying that. I don't know how much you agree with that, but what I'm going to say here is that they feel like Tuchel had a bit of unfinished business at Chelsea.
Yeah, and we were all in unanimity towards Tuchel sacking, which is like, what the hell is Todd Bowley doing at this point of time? I mean, because yes, we know that things were not going well, things were not they were not on the up. We were pretty inconsistent. We lost 3 games already, and it was only 1 month into the season. So there was frustration, but I don't think any sane Chelsea fan was like Tuchel out, apart from a certain Rory Jennings who I can't stand, to be honest. I mean, apart from him, probably every sane Chelsea fan was like Tuchel in. I mean, of course, he has been back. The signings will take time to bed in, and but I never understood his sacking. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. I mean, it was a Wednesday. I had to go to office in that day. And morning 4 a.m., I randomly woke up and saw Tuchel is being sacked. And I'm like, what? And I was like, you spent almost 260 to 70 million. You backed this guy, but you sacked him. But on another hand, I think Graham Potter's they were looking at Potter for a very long time, because look at the speed in which Tuchel was sacked and immediately Potter was brought in. I mean, I don't think that was just a one day. I mean, they might have had some final formalities to do probably for that one day, but you don't get a manager out of his job and then bring him to Chelsea immediately. And but it is what it is, and I think it's just the 18-month cycle. I mean, new manager comes in, you think you're doing well, and then everything. It's something towards Tuchel and something towards the players, because Tuchel sometimes would just be too stubborn and not change the way we play, and the opposition teams would read us like a book, and it's very easy. It was easy for them to score against us, and we could hardly hit a barn door at that point of time, which I think Potter to an extent has solved, because the way he can play a back four, he can play a back three, he can play two holding midfielders, he can play with the form two in the middle. So it's like, it's good to see, but obviously there are tests to come, and obviously this period, October, November, just before the World Cup, where we will have a good picture of where we stand going into the World Cup.
100%. And Brendan, who's in the chat, thank you for coming in. He's made a very good point. The most important thing is whether the team wants to give their all for a manager. That is the biggest trademark of being a good manager. And we're seeing as well that when you look to transfer window, especially under Tuchel, I was more surprised with that, knowing the kind of players who came in, like Koulibaly. You could tell that was a Tuchel type of sign, and Aubameyang was a former Tuchel player. Cucurella was someone who would suit, of course, Tuchel. But it's good that he's got Graham Potter there, because Graham Potter knows how to use him as well.
Yeah, but one glaring thing we missed was a defensive midfielder, and we didn't get one till Dennis Zakaria, and he's not even playing nowadays. So I don't know what's going on with that, but we knew Kante was coming towards the end, and we see now he got injured in the second game against Tottenham, and he hasn't played since, and he's going to be out for even more. He's missing the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So he's one player we clearly miss. I mean, when Kante plays and when Kante doesn't play, there's a difference. The way he breaks a play, the way he transitions from back to front very quick. As much as Jorginho and Kovacic are, I mean, I would say Kovacic is better. I mean, Jorginho, I mean, when you give him time and space in the world, he can do the passes, he can control play, but once you press him, he's finished. He can't. I mean, we have seen him concede goals like when like Spurs, the first game when he was almost surrounded by three people and he was trying to be tippy-tappy. And I mean, just clear the ball out. Even against West Ham, I mean, they nearly scored. They hit the post on the Maxwell Cornet. I don't know how he missed from there. So it's like that. And Kovacic, he can dribble, but he's not a creator. He can break a play. He can run between the lines. He has the quick burst of pace, but he's not a creator. Jorginho can be a creator at times, but he's very slow and he has just one foot. And you want him as far away from the goal as possible. You don't want him to be the last man behind with last man before the defense. And it's like that. We clearly need a defensive midfielder, and I don't know why Zakaria is not playing. I'm not sure if he's gonna be played sometime. We have to see regarding that. But even Wesley Fofana, I mean, unfortunately he got injured. I mean, he started to come into his own. Koulibaly, he has mistakes in him, but overall I think he has been fine. Aubameyang has done decent. Sterling, he started well, but he has dropped off a bit. And it's like here and there. Cucurella, again, he started well, but now he's like, he's not what do you say? He's not up to speed yet. To watch Chelsea play. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I know it was good that you did touch on Kante a bit, because a lot of people have said things about Kante.
Hello.
I was still here. Sorry.
Yeah.
My internet is so awful at the moment. I've basically got Arteta Wi-Fi, but yeah. In terms of Kante, a lot of people say that he's a defensive midfielder. Some people think he's more of a central midfielder, because I think when he was under Conte, he looked like a proper defensive midfielder. But over the more of the years I've seen of Kante, I've seen that he looks more of a central midfielder now, with the way he's able to pick up that possession of the ball. It's what you expect a box-to-box midfielder to be like.
Yeah, and he can do that, but the difference is under Sarri, he was provided much forward, and Jorginho was doing the dirty work. But the problem is Jorginho is not quick. But Kante is. Kante can do both. He can defend as well as attack. But Jorginho can't do both. And that's the problem we have been facing. And Jorginho is the last person in our team who I want back. Like back a goal. I mean, I would want him as far. I would like him much forward and trying these passes and long balls and whatnot.
Yeah, I was saying in terms of Jorginho, he is very well defensively built, but I think he's one of them where he lacks a bit of quality or two compared to other midfielders. Because I am a big fan of Mason Mount, as everybody already knows. I've actually got him on the back of this shirt. I'm a big fan of Kovacic as well. I think he's absolutely outstanding, but he's just injury prone. But in terms, and I think they've got, and as well as Kante, that's a great midfield three to have. And sometimes with Jorginho, you want him to think, can you go that little bit more forward? Can you do that a little bit more?
Exactly, and that's the thing. When the problem is when he's much more forward, he can do that. We have seen him, but when he's much backwards, sometimes he's in a dilemma. Do I go for the pass or do I don't? Because if I lose the ball, they're in on goal. My defense is exposed right there. So that thought also goes in the back of my head, that if I lose the ball from here, because if you're much forward and you have Kante behind you, so even if you lose the ball, you'll be like, okay, I've got Kante behind. But if you're the last man and if you're last man before the defense, and if you lose the ball, your defense is in danger. That's the dichotomy that he has to break.
100%, I agree. And moving on to the one what Niall has mentioned, which I actually wanted to ask anyway, is about goalkeeper situation, because I would say this time, when we last done a preview, it was clear Mendy was number one in my opinion.
Yeah.
I really rated Mendy. I was like, he's one of the best goalkeepers here in the league. He's fantastic. But Kepa, the way he played against Aston Villa to keep us in the game as well, that magnificent save. I think a lot of people are saying that he's going to be Graham Potter's number one.
That's the thing. Mendy has dropped off massively since the AFCON. I mean, when the ball goes to his feet, I'm like, dude, just clear it away. He takes one or two long touches, and it's like he puts himself under danger, which is where when Leeds away, first goal came from his mistake. He tries to hold on to the ball for too long, and then he just gives it away, the goal. And that's the problem. And many instances where he's been super shaky with his feet, and even his shot stopping ability has kind of declined. But when Kepa has come in, I think even the goalkeeping coach that Graham Potter brought with him, it has brought a massive difference. We can see that Kepa, he's more astute. I mean, he was always good with his feet. His kicking has always been good, but to some extent his shot stopping ability also has been fine. But one thing that has concerned a lot of us is when he does a long ball, like say when he shoot from distance, many goals were going in under Kepa, and sometimes he just like stands there watching here and there, and that was predominant under the first season of Sarri and even under Lampard, that he would just be caught ball watching when balls go past him.
Yeah,
But now
that's
he's more
annoying thing.
astute, and last two games, Villa, even Brentford away, where he had to make some superb saves. So I think he's growing into it. He's growing into the game. That's what we wanted to see of him. Obviously, he was a panic buy. We had to throw a lot of money at him because Porto was fucking around. I mean, he was still a contract at Chelsea when he basically did absent without leave. He was supposed to come in for training, but he didn't. So we literally had to sell him, and we had to throw money at Kepa. And he also a lot of money as well compared to Mendy. He's I think 200 220 bags a week, which is big for a goalkeeper. So, but good to see him finally see what he actually does. And at this point in time, I would stick with Kepa. And given the fact the World Cup is here, he would want to definitely prove a point. Kepa against De Gea, Spurs playing is number one. So I don't mind Kepa being the number one as long as he's doing well. Obviously, we have now clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet. So Kepa, I won't drop him for now unless he has an injury or something. I won't think of dropping Kepa now. I mean, he came in obviously because Mendy was injured, and that's how you make use of an opportunity like that. So
100%, and he has definitely shown his worth so far this season under Graham Potter. And one thing that, even though a lot of people I found disrespected Kepa in a kind of way, and I've said this on my membership stream, that him as well as Mason Mount has been highly disrespected on social media because of them lacking form at times. But I think for me, in terms of penalties saved, he's probably one of the best goalkeepers to do it. Saving penalties, he's magnificent at it.
he is. Obviously, everyone will go back to the Carabao Cup where he didn't save a single pen. He skied a pen and he almost went to one in and Van Dijk just blasted at him. But you can't really judge goalkeepers on penalty shootouts. I mean, yes, one of your jobs is to save penalties, but compared to the other saves he has done, the other shootouts he's won for us, you kind of give this one a pass. Obviously, you look this one at the bigger degree because it was a final, but you can't really blame a goalkeeper for not saving a penalty. I mean, if 10 penalties you say you don't save, then you obviously you have a question to answer. But obviously the saga with 2019 with him against City in the final, with him not coming off, he saved one, but he should have saved another. But overall, I think we've seen him good in sparks, but now we are seeing him in full flow and him actually doing well.
100%, I agree. Hey there, Doug. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. I've seen that we are looking for a right back because, dearie me, we need a right back more than anything. I've always said, like, if I could have any right back in the world, I would pick Reece James. That's not me like saying it because it's a Chelsea preview. I love the guy. I actually think he's one of the best right backs in the world right now, and people were saying in the chat earlier on he's going to be a miss for the World Cup, but I think he's also going to be a miss for the Chelsea side. And I just don't think, when I watched the game of Loftus-Cheek playing as a right wing back, I don't think it suits him.
Yeah, and it's makeshift because we all clearly know Azpilicueta can't do it at wing back anymore. His legs are short to pieces, and so we probably should have gone in for a right wing back as well. But I think this Jan we need to buy one, and we are playing makeshift because Sterling at times plays wing back, Pulisic plays wing back, Loftus-Cheek plays wing back, and for as good as it sounds pace wise, they can't really cross the ball to save their lives as well as Reece James does. Reece James, in games where you need him to step up, and when our midfielders are creating nothing, he just creates something out of nothing. With a great cross, or even he can shoot pretty well, and he is a massive miss. And even last season we saw that without him, the way we struggled to cross a ball. And Aspi was there, but his legs are short to pieces, as I said earlier. If this was 5 years before, I would have definitely put my money. If Aspi is there, no worries. But now Aspi is not our first choice, with all due respect to him, we should have cut ties with him this summer. We should have sold him to Barcelona, and that's with all due respect. He's been fantastic servant for the club. I'm privileged to watch him play. I can go far and say he's one of the best defenders to play for Chelsea, if not even in the Premier League. But we should have cut ties with him this summer, to be fair. And that's where I think Graham Potter wants to go to a back four, so that Aspie as a right back is not actually that bad. And even when we play three at the back, Aspie plays more of a centre back compared to right wing back because he's not quick enough. So in a way, back four system would work for now, but it's just that when Reece James is there, you see that he creates most of the chances. He creates more opportunities than anyone else in the team. Compared to even our midfielders, James creates most of them.
Of course, yeah. I think didn't he have like one of the highest goals in the assists for you last season as well?
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
He did, yeah.
I was there thinking while she was talking about Azpilicueta. Chalobah is a right-footed centre-back. Do you think he could have, if you wanted to play back three, for instance, could he work as a wing-back in your opinion? Because I do agree that Azpilicueta is more on the slower side and probably would suit a centre-back a lot better, but I think Tuchel play him in the midfield one game?
I think as a midfielder, not in the wing-back position, in the midfielder, because ironically, he is actually a midfielder who actually converted into a centre-back. I think he is a midfielder. Chak can probably correct me. I think he was a midfielder before Tuchel converted him to a centre-back, or maybe even before that he was playing centre-back. But even at centre-back, he's done fairly decent. Obviously, he has a mistake in him one way or another. But I think he has been good, and obviously I don't want to bring up, this stat may be relevant or not, but whenever Chalobah has started for Chelsea, we haven't lost a game in over 2 years. Yeah. So it's good in a way that we have a centre back who can play. Obviously now Fofana's injured for a while, so he has to really make his count, or else Fofana will walk straight back in.
100%. How long is Fofana out, and is Reece James missing United, Arsenal and Spurs?
Reece James is out of the World Cup.
So when's he back?
I think he's out even for the World Cup. I don't think he's playing the World Cup.
No, I heard that he could be out for the World Cup, but
I think he is out for the World Cup. I think he needed surgery or something. So if you get a surgery, just to get back is going to take 1 or 2 months.
Yeah, it's going to take a while, and Ravi's put your link in the comments for your channel. So what we'll do, before we do a combined 11, we'll go, I starred a lot of people's questions. So we've got a few questions.
By the way, if you guys are wondering why I'm wearing the Yokohama Tires jersey, this is the exact jersey we played in the last time we beat Man United in the league game.
Was that 2018? 2018 at Stamford Bridge?
2017, 2017,
2017. I knew it was
2017 November, if I'm not mistaken,
And then it was 2013 at Old Trafford, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jesus.
And it's all.
But there have been a hell of a lot of draws, though. 1-1, 0-0. There have been a lot of draws at Stamford Bridge, even at Old Trafford, though.
It has been a lot, hasn't it? And I think I'm not too sure because we'll do our score predictions later on, but I still think again it's going to be another tight game because both teams have been a bit inconsistent this season.
Yeah, I won't surprise it would be another draw because I don't know what Chelsea with Arsenal and United. It's like you could be on the worst possible form, but when it comes to against Chelsea, they somehow turn up their game. they are, or we give it away. Like last season, on Stamford Bridge, I can tell you that. We were playing decent in the first half. Then second half, Jorginho literally gives you a goal. Ball is coming from 1,000 miles in the air and man's trying to control it. Yes, we didn't make it 1-1, but towards the end, we could have won it. And even the game at Old Trafford, we went 1-0 ahead. And Ronaldo immediately scored straight after, and we missed a bucket load of chances. And United have been pretty. I can say the United have not been at their best. They have been pretty poor in these last few years, and we still haven't managed to beat them.
And I remember, obviously, the last Old Trafford game, Reece James and Chilwell ate us for breakfast. And I still don't know how we came out with the draw.
had the freedom of Old Trafford. He was allowed to do whatever he wanted.
Even at Stamford Bridge, though, you had so much possession. You must have easily had like 60-70% possession.
Yeah, but ultimately that's the scoring what matters. We used to do that in the Mourinho. We allowed other teams to have possession and we won 1-0. We got our own medicine, and fair enough.
So Ravi's gone for 3-2 for Chelsea and Reese has gone for 1-0 United. What I like about Ravi is he always predicts a game. Every time he predicts against us, we win.
Yeah.
So, with Ravi predicting us to lose, I'm a bit more confident.
Yeah.
We'll do the questions anyway. I know we've already asked a couple. Some of them's already been asked and already what we've already answered. But who do you see take over at Villa? That I know this is going a bit off topic, but it's a tough one because I personally think Poch. I think Poch will go there.
Yeah, even I think so. Yeah. But will he go to a team that's fighting like struggling for relegation? I don't know. But given something's better than nothing, I don't know who they might go for someone. I don't know. I haven't heard any names, but Poch is the big favorite though. So yeah.
Another one who was linked is one who was actually linked to Chelsea, Ruben from Sporting.
I don't know about him much, so I can't really comment.
I obviously watch a lot of Sporting, but he was also linked to Chelsea. He was linked to Wolves, and now he's linked to Villa. So he might end up going to the Premier League eventually. Let's see. Question: how does Chelsea cope with the way United will set up and play in the game? I think we'll play as a counter-attacking football. Do you like how we played for the last so many years? Because I think that's how we play best.
Yeah, I mean, I expect Chelsea to have most of possession and United play on the counter-attack. But you need to hit them with the chances you get. Because United in the big games they have done well. Even though they have been at home, they still have to beat them. You convincingly beat Liverpool. You convincingly beat Arsenal, and you convincingly beat Spurs. I don't think Spurs had nothing against you. I mean, I don't know what the thing with Spurs is. I mean, they seem to be playing the same way against every single team. I mean, once or twice it's fine. Like against a City or a Liverpool who press high, but you can't do that against every single team, and that's how United are going to play. And we have to be aware of the high line. You can't play high line against United because of the pace of Rashford. Even Martial might play and stuff.
Martial's out, so
Martial's are okay, but still Rashford. You know what Rashford's capable of, and Anthony's been doing good. He's scored in the first 3 games that he has played. So, and Casemiro's coming. He's stepped up. He's doing well. Fred has been stepping up his game. Bruno's been doing decent. And your defense in overall has been solid. Varane, Lisandro Martinez, that's not getting taken out. Obviously, Malacia. Is Malacia injured?
Malacia has been dropped. He had a poor performance in the Europa League, and that was against Ammonia away. Him and Sancho was both our culprit to the goal being
and
scored.
Sancho, yeah. So Sancho, we all know what Sancho can do, although he has been up and down in his United career. So we need to be defensively solid and we need to be clinical. I mean, it's a cliched one. We just need to be clinical in front of goal. I mean, look at City when they played against you lot. They literally had 4 or 5 chances in the first half and they scored all 4 of them. And that was the game over.
Exactly, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, if you have a chance, you need to score.
And that's
exactly a simple thing. And if you don't score, you're gonna pay for it at the end.
Exactly, 100%. And what I find is, I agree with what you said about Spurs. And the thing is, if you want to succeed in the Premier League and you want to pick up points, you've got to change the way you play. Like the thing, like the likes of Man City would never change the way they play and that people accommodate to play against them. But with Spurs, you're not gonna play as the way they're playing against. Like if you was to play the likes of Southampton, like if you was to play Southampton, you would play completely different compared to how you would play against like Arsenal, for instance. You wouldn't play the same.
I mean, Southampton is like a because Southampton also like to attack and they just go all out attack and probably defending and counter-attacking is simpler because you can get them on the defense. But maybe against the Villa or a Forest or something like that, you can't keep playing like that every single time.
I Like Coffee has done a quick analysis of what the game's going to happen. 2-1 United, Mason Mount rocket from outside the box, Rashford counter-attack goal where he runs like Forrest Gump from the halfway line, leaving Koulibaly behind, and Antoinette Rambono goal in the last 10 minutes.
Wow, Rabona, yeah. I would say goal maybe makes sense, but Rabona, that's just taking the mic. Yeah.
Did I see the 442 videos of Ronaldo joining United stand? I don't even follow the United stand. I Like Coffee, I must be honest. Thoughts on Ronaldo's behaviour from the other night when he walked off. I think it was absolutely disgusting. I made my feelings pretty known on my Twitter. Is that nobody is ever bigger than the club. No one. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be the greatest ever player to grace on this earth, because let's be honest, we've had loads and loads of legends in the past. We've had George Best, we've had Brian Robson, we've had Roy Keane, we've had Eric Cantona, David Beckham. Cristiano Ronaldo isn't the only legend we've ever had. Like, we've had loads and loads of legends, and the thing is what you notice with players, they still they respect the club. Like I say, no one's bigger than the club. If he wants to leave. I'd personally sell him now in January. I don't, personally, in my opinion, I think we should have sold him in general. When I went to watch that pre-season game, his body language just proved enough. And if he can't support the team when we have got, for me, the best ever performance we've had this season, then why do you deserve to be at the club? You don't. You're literally robbing us out of 400k a week. So I hope you enjoy your under-21s training for this week. I actually think we're not going to see Ronaldo again now. I don't, but coming from an outside view,
even though, you look at the sequence of events that have happened from the beginning to end.
Yeah.
Man doesn't go to preseason in United. Where was it? Where you played preseason? Was it in Australia?
We played in Australia and we played in South Asia as well.
Yeah. So Man doesn't go there. In a preseason game at home, he leaves before the full-time whistle. No one, he was up for sale actually, but I don't think anyone wanted him. Anyone wanted him in the summer.
Didn't Bolly want Ronaldo, but Tuchel didn't?
Yeah.
Is this true?
Yeah. And even in this, you see, you look at the games he has. I think before this one, I think the games he started, you guys didn't win. It's like, apart from maybe Sheriff in the Europa League, I think it was. But the Premier League games, he clearly looked out of shape. The thing, people keep saying he's the greatest of all time. He's the greatest of all time. No, he's not. Man does not even have a proper first touch, let alone like finish or something. Yes, he is scoring Everton 700 club goals. Massive respect to that. One of the greats of the game, but he's not my greatest of all time. I'll put it that way. But whatever it is, if the manager doesn't want you, he doesn't want you. Simple as that. The manager cannot accommodate the way you play just because you want to be in the team. Manager has his style of play. People might say Ronaldo was the top scorer last season. Okay, but how much did others score? Did he make the team around him better? No, he didn't. It was mainly about him. And
did we win a trophy? People saying Ronaldo was our top goal scorer, but we didn't win a trophy.
Exactly.
We finished into
you scraped in the past Europa League. West Ham lost the last game, else you would have been in the Conference League. FA Cup, we got kicked out by Middlesbrough at home. Carabao Cup, I'm not sure how far you went there.
Carabao Cup, we got knocked out in the third round against West Ham.
Oh yeah, so that's one there. And the Champions League, you lost to Atletico Madrid. And Ronaldo dropped an absolute stinker in the second leg. I remember that game because he dropped a stinker. So it's like, yes, he was a top scorer, but how much did others score? How did he make the team around him better? How much did Rashford score? How much did Martial score? How much did Bruno score?
Edinson Cavani. Edinson Cavani is a criminally underrated striker.
Exactly.
I don't know. And I know he was injured a lot, but he didn't. I think that he was magnificent for us in that first season, but
Yeah,
I do respect for everything Ronaldo has done in his first reign at Man United. He scored a lot of goals last season. I respect him for what he's done, but his behaviour is beyond disgusting, and I don't want a player like that at Manchester
exactly.
United.
I mean,
It's just not
at
good
this
enough.
point, if he was playing for United, if I was a United fan, I wouldn't mind tearing up his contract and say, "Bye, we don't need you anymore." I won't even mind that seriously. If it takes a few quid to pay him off, so be it. I would rather get rid of someone like that rather than just keeping him and waste someone on the bench like that. And
I
people
do
saying, "Oh, it's disrespect." What disrespect? He is disrespecting the club. He's disrespecting
exactly.
himself. Eric
I
Ten
do
Hag's not
think though.
disrespecting him.
I do think though we do need a number 9. Don't get me wrong, we really do need one, and I think it was evident when we played against Newcastle. We need one, but I'd rather have a squad of 11 players who wants to work as a team and play well rather than it being disruptive. And I don't know what you think from an outside point of view as well, is that when I have seen Ronaldo play, we don't play as a team as well, in my opinion, because
Exactly.
I think you look, Bruno and Anthony would rather make the harder cross to try and get Ronaldo to score than I think there was a game in the Newcastle game where I could think of one in particular is that, and that Ammonia game at home we could have put away tons, but we didn't. But talking about the Newcastle game, Anthony was here, Ronaldo here, Bruno had nobody marking him. He went and done the hard pass to Ronaldo, and Newcastle, whoever picked it up. But Bruno was clear of goal. He could have got it in. And that could have, I'm not saying that he would have got it in, but that could have still potentially won us the game.
Exactly. And I don't know. It's just that he just, and one thing Ten Hag has done is he dropped all the so-called big names. He dropped Maguire, he dropped Wan-Bissaka, he dropped Shaw, and he made Bruno captain, which I don't think makes sense. So probably I think Varane or Casemiro should be the captain because for the stature of the players they are. So it's like the way he has incorporated the new signings into his team, and you look at the games you won, the big games you won without Ronaldo playing. Liverpool, I think you played. No one gave you a chance against Liverpool at home, and you completely played them off the park. Arsenal at home, I think, even though Arsenal were playing well, Old Trafford has never been a good hunting ground for them. Even Spurs, you absolutely took. If not for Luis, it would have been at least 4 or 5. So it's like people saying, "Oh, Ronaldo." People are making this Ronaldo FC instead of Man United. Like how players make it for big valued players who've done things in the past. And let's be honest, Ronaldo came to United only because he didn't think he did things in the past. And I think he would have gone to Man City, but Glazer saw it and he was like, I don't want him to go to Man City. Let's just bring him Man United and bring a lot of shirt sales.
Exactly, I completely agree, and I want to say hello as well to Martin and Rich who's in the chat. I hope you are well. It's good how you did mention about the armband. I think for me, I wanted Bruno to be captain, and it was just more because you look at, for instance,
I mean, you could look at one way and say when Maguire is having a captain's armband,
he
I
doesn't
would
play.
rather have anyone have it.
That's true. I literally would rather have anyone have it, I must be honest. But I think the thing is, why Bruno probably had it is that you look at last season out of everyone, he probably shown the most leadership out of us all. I don't like strikers being a captain. I don't like goalkeepers being a captain, so that rules it out for me. So
Yeah.
that's either defender, winger, or midfielder. I don't think Rashford is captain material. Sancho only just started. I think Varane was quite injury prone. We didn't know where he was going to be at this season, and if he was going to pick up a lot of injuries, there would have been no point in being a captain. Casemiro came before the season started, so that I think it'd be quite disruptive to change the captaincy around once he came. So I think when you look at it in that kind of way, I think probably Bruno was probably the right choice, and
Yeah.
maybe he might assess it a little bit later on down the line,
Yeah.
maybe next season. And Andrew Martin's absolutely spot on. Club before player, always 100%. We'll go to the next question now. Is United's formation style enough to get through to Chelsea side? We play counter-attacking football, and we've played counter-attacking football against Chelsea for years, and that's helped us get wins, it's helped us get draws. So I think the way we have played in the past, it should be enough, but we'll just have to see on how that does go on. Niall has asked, thoughts on the signing of Aubameyang, and can he make an impact at Chelsea and banging goals?
He scored 3 in a row. Obviously, last 2 games, Wolves, he didn't play, and last game he only came on for 10 minutes. So, and he didn't really do much. So, I mean, I think I want him to start against United. I want him to start as a forward. No Havertz, this false nine business, and I want Aubameyang to start. And I mean, he has to. There's no other choice. But I think if not maybe 20 goals, I think he can probably score like 15, 17. I think he can do 15, 17 this league season, I think.
One from Ravi as well. How does Potter maximise the squad he currently has?
He has enough. Apart from maybe 1 or 2 areas, like in defensive, we have Reece James injured, we have Fofana injured, we know Thiago Silva is 38. And even in midfield, we don't have Kante now, and Zakaria is there, but we're not playing him regularly. I think we have to slowly integrate him into the team. Obviously, we are doing Loftus-Cheek, who has been okay, or who is starting to hit a little bit of form now. Kovacic has been doing decent. Jorginho has been okay. Attack, we do have a lot of options, though. I think he has to start playing Pulisic a lot more, because Pulisic, when he came on the other day, he created a lot more chances. And obviously, Mount is hitting stride now. No coincidence, he's playing in the number 8 position, where he makes the most of it. If they play players in natural position, and they will create damage, and obviously that's where Mason Mount is excelling now. I want Aubameyang to start. I want Mount to start. I want Pulisic to start, because he can. Because up against the likes of Dalot or Varane, we can catch them for pace. And Varane has been a bit suspect to pace, if you would say that. Obviously, they have Casemiro now, who is obviously the tank in midfield. So you've got to hit them with pace. Obviously, pace terrifies any defense. That change of pace can terrify any defense. So I would like him to start Pulisic on a more regular basis. I would like Ziyech. I'm still pretty iffy on him. Ziyech, I'm still on the fence for him. But yeah, we do have enough. But it's only a question of, hopefully we don't get any more injuries now. We have to strengthen in January.
100%. Hey there, I've not seen the chat before, so I hope you are well. As a Man City fan, I'm looking forward to the Chelsea United game, 1-1 full time. Very interesting score. Mine did mention as well about, obviously, Zakaria. He's not been played. Has he even been on the bench? Is he injured?
I don't think so. I don't even know why. I mean, we haven't lost till now. I mean, we have drawn 2 games and we won the others. So till now, doesn't seem bad. But he has to get he was a Tuchel signing at the end of the day. And Tuchel was sacked immediately after. So it's like, I have no idea what's in store for him. I would like to see him given game time and see what he brings to the table, and because he isn't a permanent signing, he's only a loan signing. So even if it doesn't work out, we can give him back at the end of the season. So it's, yeah.
Maybe, though, depending if he doesn't get used, potentially Juventus might even call him back in January yet.
Yeah, we don't know. We have to wait and see.
100%. Reese has got a question for both. How do you think Potter will approach the transfer window as he's at a bigger club and expectation is higher? Do you think business at Chelsea will be smarter or just high price?
I think it will be smarter now that we are about to hire director of football, sporting director, because in the summer we had no one. Obviously, we got rid of the previous staff, and Todd Bowley was literally doing everyone, and so we didn't even have proper scouting network. So we basically looked at other targets and saying, okay, we'll go for this target, we'll go for that target. I mean, that's how Rafinha, Koundé, etc. came up on the table. They weren't even our first targets, and I mean, obviously, Um, Cucurella. Like we did spend a big load for him, but I think he's still worth it. But we didn't really have a structure of a way of or we planned a transfer. We just randomly went for players and we somehow got them. But given we are getting things in place now, we think I am thinking we should have a proper strategy and go for properly scout players and get them into our team.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and I think you'd be able to get players who were suited to Graham Potter, what Graham Potter wants to do for a long term as well. He'll probably have a better idea in January too of what formation will be best for the team, what kind of players he really needs, because just like Chelsea players are adapting to Graham Potter's adapting to the team as well. He's
Yeah.
using somebody else's team, and I think that's always the hardest thing.
Yeah.
We'll do 2 more questions and then we'll do a combined 11. I like Coffee has asked, is Kante being phased out?
More like when you mean phased out, what do you mean?
I think not being played as much, maybe.
He's injured. How do you expect him to play?
Okay, he's injured.
Yeah, I mean, and he's on, and I think he's going to take a surgery as well. So we
Yeah,
won't
he is
see him
injured. I
anytime.
completely
The
forgot.
best thing I can maybe see is maybe towards the end of the season, but I don't think we're going to see him anytime soon.
And I'll finish this last question for Ravi. The centre-back partnership is going to be easy for us. It's Martinez and Varane. I can't see any other way.
Yeah.
Hey there as well, Luca. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're good. I'm well, thank you. I hope you are. So we'll do a combined 11.
This is going to get tasty.
It is. I've picked a 4-3-3. Is that good for you?
Okay. Yeah.
Because the 4-3-3 is better than a 4-2-3-1. I don't like the 4-2-3-1. So 4-3-3 it is. And we get to accommodate a few more players.
Yeah.
So what we'll do it based off who's on form and who's available.
Yeah.
As that'll be the most fairer. Farah has also said that he admires N'Golo Kante and that he's a beast when healthy and he fights for the badge. And I completely agree. Yeah, I think what I love about Kante also, he's so humble.
Yeah. You don't see him really speak anywhere. That's the thing.
No.
And I remember one game. We played Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. We went 2-0 down. When he came back to try 2-2, it was a super high intense game. And at the end of the game, there was a photo where everyone was like down, holding their legs and they were tired. Kante was the only one that stood up. I mean, that guy's engine is on a different level.
Hopefully, he makes a quick recovery as well.
Yeah.
Let's do this combined 11. We'll go with the goalkeeper first,
Kepa.
and I've got to agree. I'd have to go with Kepa based off this
There
season.
is no way. I mean, De Gea has been good. I think he's been better, but still, like some aspects, like his kicking from the back, like his short stopping ability is still pretty good. He's still on top of there, but like sometimes his kicking and the way he comes out on crosses and he gets caught in no man's land.
I think at times. I think De Gea is definitely.
Is it still a problem? Because I think coming out of crosses, I think used to be. Is it still a problem?
Pardon?
Like the way he just used to come out for crosses and corners randomly and just gone in no man's land. Is it still a problem or?
The thing is with De Gea, I think he's definitely improved on his feet and he's so good with his shot stopping. But there is times where, for me, he doesn't get off his line enough and he's still quite poor in his distribution. I do appreciate everything he's done, and for a goalkeeper to get as many appearances and to keep us in so many games, but I just think compared to when we bought De Gea back in the Sir Alex Ferguson days, the Premier League has changed.
Of course, it does. Yeah. But based off form, Kepa, I mean, he's just having this wonderful patch now, and I think we can both agree on Kepa.
100%. That's fine with me. I would have said Kepa as well.
Yeah.
Left back, for me, with left back, I had Ben Chilwell.
He's not been that great, to be fair. He's been okay, but he's not been like, obviously he is coming back from a lengthy injury spell, and
Yeah.
Cucurella did come in and he's done fairly okay, but Chilwell has stepped up. I'm not going to get it wrong, but I think it would probably be between Chilwell and Malacia. But what do you reckon? I'm stuck between Chilwell or Malacia, but because Malacia did came in and he's done well before he got dropped.
Yeah.
So
He did play it extremely
yeah,
well.
but Chilwell is kind of inconsistent. He's not really the consistent player. So
Should we put Malacia in for now, and then we
yeah,
could always
probably.
change it a bit later
Yeah,
on
makes
anyway?
sense. I mean, overall as a player, I think Chilwell is way better.
I
But
agree.
on form, based on current consistency, we'd probably put Palacia.
I agree. I do think Ben Chilwell is definitely the better left back. I think right now though, Malacia is still only very raw, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it gives me a bit of like Patrice Evra vibes.
yeah,
And I do really like him, and I think he will definitely improve over time. It's just a shame
yeah.
Shaw has decided to pick his form back up, which is
I
typical
mean, I don't know
Shaw.
why Shaw at start of the season he looked back. He looked like the Shaw was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Like overweight and stuff. And I was like, what did this guy eat at the summer? It's like
Burger King. He
why
likes
not?
his Burger King.
Yeah.
So in terms of centre backs, what I thought would be best, I pick one, you pick one, so it makes it fair.
Thiago Silva and then anyone else.
Who do you have? Thiago Silva.
Obviously, I mean whenever he's played, he's looked flawless.
Yeah, I agree. If I was gonna go for any centre back in terms of Chelsea, I'd either go for Thiago Silva or Chalobah,
Yeah.
and it's not even close compared to all the rest of them.
Yeah. And then who's been better according to you? Was it Varane or Martinez? Because as a combo, I think they've done well, but obviously Martinez had that obviously when he came in he did struggle for 1 or 2 games, but then he stepped up the pace and he's been doing well.
I
And
think
Varane
it
we
was
know is
more.
Varane.
Yeah. I think for me it was more of the centre back partnerships for Martinez. He didn't really complement alongside Maguire,
Yeah.
but I think when you've got two hungry players playing alongside each other, it really works. We always know that we've called Varane the Rolls Royce, but I think
Yeah.
Martinez, he's been quite, for me, disrespected on social media. Think he would never get there just because it is his
Right.
height. He's not good enough, and the way that he's able to define, well, I can do it. I've got all the qualities to be a
Yeah, I mean
centre
that
back.
guy's aerial door win percentage is ridiculous.
I had Martinez anyway as my centre back choice, just because I think for me,
makes sense.
I think he's been our second best player this season. The first for me has to be Christian Eriksen.
Yeah. Okay.
Right backs. I had to discuss here backstage who I didn't want as a right back. But who would you go for a right back for?
Obviously,
for you,
yeah. So obviously James is injured, else he walks straight in. There is no debate.
100%.
But yeah, you'd probably say Dalot because Ashby is hardly being played and he's being on the substitute appearances. So given Dalot has been starting games, you would say Dalot.
Got no choice then. We'll have to add him in.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And for people in the chat, this is the first and only time I'm going to add this guy in. So take it while you can.
Were you taking him or Trent?
I think with Trent Alexander-Arnold, I don't think I think that what helped him a lot over the years is that the midfield was so quick, but Jordan Enders lost his legs. Fabinho, and of course he's had great centre backs over the years. But I think knowing that the team is aging and he is made a lot of mistakes, he's catching out a whole lot more. I don't think though that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a right back. I think he plays better more up the pitch. Could he be used as a could he be used as like a winger?
I wouldn't mind him as a midfielder though.
Yeah, a midfielder or a winger. Yeah, I think he'd be absolutely brilliant because I think Gomez has been fantastic as a right back.
Yeah.
Marcus has got a good point. Martinez has been a beast. No one is talking about his height anymore.
Yeah. They just needed something to bring him up about him, and it only got his height because they knew his defensive abilities are probably up there.
100%. I completely agree. Who are you gonna go for defensive midfielder? I had
Casemiro.
Casemiro.
Yeah,
We both changed.
Jorginho is not a CDM. Kovac is not a CDM. And Loftus-Cheek is not. He's not better than Casemiro, is he?
No.
If Kante was fit and playing, we could have a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But given that Kante is out, you can't put Kante. Given Kante is out, you can't put Kante there. So yeah.
Yeah, it had to be Casemiro, isn't it? It is. No really comparisons at the moment, but going to central midfielders, I thought it'd be good. You pick one, I pick one.
I would say Kovacic and Christian Eriksen.
I had the exact same.
Yeah,
I had the exact
Kovacic and
same.
Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think I don't know what you thought of Eriksen looking outside, but I think all over the years we've said, "Oh, we need defensive midfielder, we need the defensive midfielder," but I think Eriksen has been an absolute gem in that midfield, like a midfielder
Yeah,
what
I
we
don't think
hoped
he's a
Pogba
defensive
was.
midfielder per se. He likes to create
Yeah,
chances. He
he
likes
is. He's more box to box,
and he carries the ball pretty well. And I've rated Eriksen over the years, and I've always rated him. I was thinking maybe like if he was available on a free, maybe we could have taken him as an attacking midfielder, but you got him, so fair play.
Yeah, I'm very happy we did got him on a 3-year deal, so I can't complain. Yeah. Left wing now, so it's gonna get interesting of what it is on the left, right, and striker. For the left wing, I think that was actually my toughest position because Sancho for me hasn't been there for me. And who do you play on the left hand side? Is it Sterling?
I'll put Mount there just based on form.
Yeah, because Mount for me plays more right wing, doesn't he?
I mean, he can sometimes he plays on the left, sometimes he plays on the right. He drifts in between possessions, but his best is as a number 8, where his best is actually as a number 8. But on form, I think we can put Mason Mount over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll accommodate Mason Mount. I like to accommodate Mason Mount. You see, so I win it, guys. He becomes on the create formation. So we'll go into the right wing, and for right wing for me, I had Antony.
Yeah, Anthony all day long.
Antony.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
He's on form. He's doing well, and no one in Chelsea is even like our attackers have been misfiring right, left, right, and center. So, yeah.
100%, and I think as well, Antony. Even though he's obviously got a high price tag and people's expecting him to do well, I think that he has proved some people wrong because people's like, oh, he's only good on his left foot. Oh, he can't dribble, he can't cross, but he's brilliant in terms of shooting
just the way
outside
he
the box.
uses his left foot. I mean, his first 3 finishes, they were gold. The one against Arsenal, the one against Everton, and even Man City's one, even though it was consolation, that was a banger.
Oh, I love that one against Manchester City.
Yeah, that was a banger.
It was. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the get goal of the month for us.
Probably makes sense.
Striker for me, I had Rashford, but you may have someone different.
I am tied between Rashford and Aubameyang. Given that how Aubameyang has started decent, he started well, but how much is Rashford on? Like what's his stats? I have to check. I really have no idea.
Rashford at the moment, he's had in the Premier League 9 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. In the Europa League, 2 games, 2 goals, 1 assist.
Okay, so Aubameyang has had 3 goals and probably.
Should I get Aubameyang stats?
Yeah, I think it's 7 games because I think for first 2 games he didn't score. Next 3 games in a row he scored, and I think he just played one of that. So 3 and 6.
Yeah, so in the league he's got 2 matches, 1 goal, and then in the Champions League 4 matches, 2 goals.
Yeah, so 3 and 6. So yeah. Given the amount of United players on here, let's just balance it out and put Aubameyang.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
I wouldn't mind if you put Rashford as well, but I just think Aubameyang is like the thing with Aubameyang, like Rashford is like he should have scored against Spurs as well. I mean, and at times I just tend to think that he's just a pace merchant. but he can score he can score the goals. But over the last few years, his form has been up and down, up and down. And Aubameyang, like he did fall out with Arteta. He went to Barcelona, he banged it, and obviously he's come to Chelsea and he's had a good start. So overall, in terms of gameplay, I would put Aubameyang over Rashford. Would you prefer the same, or do you have a different view?
I had a bit. I
Like
think Aubameyang
Aubameyang in
played
terms of
well. I was
overall game
leaning.
isn't that much because he can't hold up play. It's more of like you put the ball into the box and he's there. He will score a goal for you.
Whereas I think Rashford is a lot more better when the attack's more open and he's on the counter. And the chat as well have gone more for Aubameyang over Rashford anyway.
Yeah, so
Aubameyang is. But what are you thinking of that lineup, Prasanna? Could we win another Champions League?
Why not? I mean, you have from front to back, you have a perfect. I mean, you have Thiago Silva. Yeah, you always steps up. You have Martinez, who's been doing well, and Casemiro. We know is Casemiro. Kovacic and Eriksen. We know Anthony. We know Mount. Based on form, yes, and Aubameyang, we just know. So I'm not sure Champions League. We with this team, I think we could get a quarterfinal or semi-final. But beyond that, I think it's hard. At least past Madrid or even a City, for that matter of fact.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap it up here anyway. Thank you so much, Prasanna, for coming on. It's been a very good show.
Yeah, I mean, so I was late. Had the work meeting that got extended, so it always happens. So yeah. But it's Friday afternoon and I'm starving now. I didn't even cook properly, so I'm probably gonna get from outside. So yeah.
Oh, lovely. Enjoy it. And I just want to say hello in the chat as well. Supporting Man United from 2015. I was still waiting for a trophy. Man United's going to win it 2-0.
I'm not sure if
Fingers
he
crossed.
means from 2015 he's waiting because I think he won 3 or 4 trophies in that span of time. So
yeah, he supports United from 2015. Still waiting for it. And still waiting.
I mean, but I think even after 2015, he won trophies. So.
We won 2 cups.
You won an FA Cup, you won a League Cup, you won a Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've won 3 trophies, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah. I was just thinking about Europa and the Carabao Cup.
Yeah,
but,
16 you won the FA Cup. Yeah, Lingard banger in extra time.
100%, yeah. I remember that now. Yeah, Prasanna, would you like to shout out your socials and your score prediction as well?
So of course, PB Talks, the channel is there in the description. Obviously tag the title as well so you can clearly see it. My socials are Prasanna. I think Maisy is tagged in the description as well. Prasanna Bala 97. That's my Insta. So you can find me out there and obviously leave me a message. And obviously I'll be doing. So Chennai did play. We lost. Hopefully I don't lose it in my match review, which I will be doing it probably later. And tomorrow, obviously Chelsea play United, and so I'll be doing a review for that as well post match. I'm going for a screening. So hopefully that turns out well, and I'm hoping this jersey brings me luck for tomorrow. But it is what it is. It's obviously on the pitch, and you got to do what we got to do. Obviously, the gap is 1 point with 10 games played, and yeah, just that may the best team win, and may the best team win. That's all. Can't say more than that.
Yeah, it was great to have you on again, Prasanna. I had a 1-1 draw anyway, so hopefully
1-1. Yeah, I go for the same 1-1.
Yeah, hopefully it's not
1-1 or probably Desmond 2-2. But
I can't see it being
I'll stick to 1-1. I'll stick to 1-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1. Can't see it be a high scoring game, but
yeah.
Yeah, I've put your link anyway in the description below. So if you haven't already, go and subscribe to Prasanna. I think he's on the road to 600 subscribers. So
yeah,
let's get Prasanna to 600. I will be next live. It will be on Sunday. I'll be doing a watch along for Manchester United women as they take on Leicester. I'll be doing that with Andy, and I've got my World Cup predictions with Luca as well, who was in the chat earlier on.
So we'll probably do a combined watch along for the women's game. That's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who do you have this weekend?
Bogey team Brighton.
We battered Brighton, so you should be fine.
But Brighton's been Chelsea's bogey team for God knows how long now. But last season, I don't think we beat them in any of the games. I think we drew to them once, and I think we lost to them as well, if I remember. So yeah, they've always caused us problems, and I expect pretty much the same.
Del Boy said he's going to subscribe to you.
It's like always them teams, like like you think you look at them and you think they're having the poorest of form, but then they play you and they absolutely turn you over.
That's true. We can just never beat Chelsea. I don't think in our entire Man United women's career we've ever beat Chelsea, and we was closest to at the last day of the season. And then
but you went 1-0 up, you went 2-1 up, and then but second half we just turned it over.
Exactly, and it hurts me still to this point that we could have been in the top 3 if it wasn't for that game and the amount of draws we had. But thank you, Del Boy, for subscribing to Prasanna, and I hope you are well. So 2:45 is the watch along, and then Luca will be on. I think it's around 9:30. So go and check out the channel and go and check out Prasanna's. Smash that like and subscribe button. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.